I said, pause and take some time to talk about this chemistry versus cultural fit. And, you know, it might seem off-putting. I know the first time I heard someone say, don't use the term culture fit, it just kind of went against everything I kind of knew, or I thought I knew as a hiring manager. So, you know, when a candidate is in this, you know, this phase of the hiring process where they're starting to meet not just you, their potential supervisor, but other members of the team, one of the things that we have identified is making sure that the candidate is the right fit. So yes, there needs to be a certain chemistry, meaning you need to feel that you and this candidate will work well together, but a lot goes into that, you know, including personality, their work style, their management style, how this candidate's going to receive feedback, how this candidate is going to manage. But it does not mean that obviously, or maybe not obviously, that you should be looking for someone who is just like you. I think a lot of us might have a tendency to do that. But what it can do is it can create a slippery slope of homogeny. So it's important to understand and evaluate your chemistry with a candidate. We also, though, encourage you to think a little bit deeper and examine, why do I have chemistry with this person? And is it because of bias, which is naturally, and this is human nature, it's nothing terrible, it's just how we are wired. We are naturally drawn to people who are like us, whether that's in terms of a personality or background, you know, that's who we're naturally drawn to. So is it that you have chemistry with this person because you're drawn together because of a common reason? Recognizing that this bias might exist in the first place is a great first step, and it's not an easy thing to overcome. So how can we potentially overcome this if we see this might be a problem in our organization? We've outlined a few steps here, working with the staff to identify what are the key things that make up our organizational culture, and could potentially any of these things be off-putting to a great candidate who might not see themselves as a part of this thing that we think makes us so special. Ask what new perspectives need to be in place to move the organization forward and not just preserve current culture, because maybe current culture needs to evolve, and respect the boundaries. So this is, you know, not everyone, and my gosh, 20, 25 years ago, this was so pervasive, but not everyone wants to go to a happy hour. Not everyone wants to join the softball team. Not everyone, sorry, Lori and Jessica, wants to be in a room full of people singing happy birthday to them. So respect boundaries. If something is such a core part of your culture, but it might completely scare off a candidate, evaluate whether it's that important to your culture. And understand that this is really about shifting away from a homogenous, often, you know, stereotypically female, white dominant workplace in nonprofits. We know that for some organizations, there are culturally specific practices that new hires need to understand or have a lived experience that is preferable. And this is particularly true for BIPOC-led organizations that serve BIPOC communities. And that's not what we're talking here. We are talking about moving away from using the term culture fit and the culture fit conversation to evolve your organization past a culture that has a pattern as a nonprofit organization of promoting and hiring the same type of person, which is often a white female.